We have a really good bantamweight fight right here. We got Mando Gutierrez and William Elliott. This fight is a bantamweight fight. Both fighters with only one loss on the record. Mando Gutierrez, an amazing grappler, only 24 years old, 5'6" tall, and a 69-inch reach. Only one loss by rear naked choke submission, but before that, was doing absolutely amazing, going undefeated as an amateur MMA fighter. First in guillotine, decision win, guillotine, arm triangle, triangle choke submission, arm triangle, and arm triangle choke submission. And as a pro, 4 submission wins in a row by rear naked choke and guillotine choke submission. Really good grappling and some very explosive striking as well. William Elliott, 3 wins and 1 loss. His last fight to Tommy Espinosa by first knockout loss. Before that, getting a first round knockout win and another first round knockout win, both in literally 9 seconds and 18 seconds. Super fast knockout wins right there. But the main way Mando Gutierrez is going to go out there and try to win the fight, he's going to try to getting the submission win. 9 out of his 10 amateur and professional MMA wins are coming by submission, either by rear naked choke or guillotine choke submission. His striking is usually really good, but when he's fighting guys that are really tall and have really long reaches, he tends to not do the really too good. But when he's fighting guys that have a similar height and a similar reach, he usually tends to do very good in the striking game. Very good calf kicks as well. His wrestling is very good. Really good double leg takedowns. And if he does end up getting taken down by himself, is on the bottom, he sinks in the guillotine and gets right back up on the feet. Very good submission transitions on the ground. If he misses the guillotine choke submission, he goes for the armbar. He goes for the rear naked. He just keeps on going for submission after submission after submission. The striking game is a kickboxer 100%. Trying to get the head kick, trying to get the body kick, trying to get the leg kick. That's the main way. The main thing he's trying to do in the striking game, but usually trying to set up the striking to set up his wrestling and grappling. Really good knees up the middle in the clinch as well. William Elliott is the striker in the fight. Very good power in his hands. 9 seconds and 18 seconds in the very first round. Getting knockouts really fast. Very fast puncher and very powerful puncher as well. Decent takedown defense, but still probably not going to be enough to defend all the takedowns, onslaughts from Mando Gutierrez in the fight. Not the best submission game as well. So I think in this fight, either William Elliott goes out there and gets a nice one-punch right hand knockout whenever Mando Gutierrez or Mando gets the fight in the clinch, gets him down, ground pounds him, goes for submission after submission after submission over and over again, and gets his submission in the first or second round by in my opinion, I think it's going to be very hard for William Elliott to defend all these submissions from Mando Gutierrez. So I think Mando will get a couple of takedowns here, get him down, and get his back as soon as possible, probably in the first or second round. So my prediction for the first fight on LFA 106 is Mando Gutierrez to go out there, get a takedown in the first round, dominate the first round, and in the second round, get him down, get his back, and get the rear naked choke submission. So I got Mando Gutierrez winning the fight by second round, rear naked choke submission in the first fight of LFA 106. Should be a really good fight right there. And then after that first fight on the fight card, we have a really good heavyweight fighter right here, Trevor Wallace and Bubba Grant. Trevor Wallace is an absolute beast. 4 wins and 0 losses. Every single one of his wins being a finish. He's just an absolute beast. First knockout win in 58 seconds, 29 second first round knockout win, and then 2 other knockout wins as an amateur MMA fighter. 2 knockout wins and 1 decision win. A lot of power in his hands, and he's only, I believe, 26 or 27 years old. Bubba Grant, 7 wins and 6 losses. If you look at how he loses his fights, 2 knockout losses and 4 decision losses. Also has 6 knockout wins of his own. Both fighters have a lot of power in their hands, but Trevor Wallace will have a slight age advantage as Bubba Grant is currently 36 years old, and Trevor Wallace also is so tall for the heavyweight division at 6'5" tall, which is absolutely insane. He's gonna go out there, and one of these two guys is gonna get the knockout 100%. They both go out there and try to get the knockout, try to get the TKO. They're just both trying to finish the fight in the first or second round, but Trevor Wallace, the younger, the faster, the more powerful, the taller, the lengthier fighter. Everything in my opinion is pointing towards Trevor Wallace to win the fight. We haven't got to see much of any grappling or wrestling from either fighter in their career so far, but we know they both have a really good power in their hands. So I think 100% one of these two guys is gonna get the knockout in the first or second round, and I think that guy will be Trevor Wallace. The man has so much power, is so fast. Dude, he's so tall, 6'5" tall in the heavyweight division, a really long reach. So I think all those factors will give Trevor Wallace a win here. So I will ultimately be going with Trevor Wallace to go out there and win the fight by KO or TKO in the first or second round. Should be a really good heavyweight fight right there. But after that, guys, we have Gina Goodin and Katherine Paprocki. This fight is a women's strawweight fight, and the betting odds for the fight are super close. Let's see if I can pull up those odds right now, because they are very close right here. So right here, minus 155 and then plus 135. Earlier today, they were minus 115 for both fighters. It was pretty much a 50-50 fight for both of the fighters in the fight. A very close fight right there. But Gina Goodin, humongous height and reach advantage. I mean, you look right here, 5'8" tall. 5 inches taller than Katherine Paprocki, and then 71 inches, 6 inch reach advantage as well. That is absolutely insane. In the prime of her MMA career, a solid straight right hand, very good pressure against the cage. That means she's gonna pressure Katherine Paprocki to give her back right against the cage, and Gina Goodin is just gonna go and try to land as much strikes as possible. Maybe follow it up with a double leg takedown or something like that. But Gina Goodin is an absolute beast, 100%. Very good takedown defense and very good wrestling of her own. Usually she gets around 2 to 3 takedowns in every single one of her fights. Her main way of getting her submissions is it's probably going to be by armbar submission or just one of the submissions, trying to break the arm like a Kimura submission or an armbar submission. She's very strong in the clinch situations as well. She lands a lot of good shots in the clinch, has really good wrestling, really good striking, a really powerful right hand as well. There's a lot of really good things about Gina Goodin for 100%. Katherine Paprocki is a kickboxer, very good body kicks and very good high kicks, decent striking, but tends to throw more looping punches rather than straight fast punches, which is going to be the disadvantage for Katherine Paprocki, because in this fight, if she's going for those looping punches, she's probably not going to be landing, considering Gina Goodin is much taller, is much more lengthier, so it's gonna be much harder for her to land those looping punches. And Gina Goodin, if she's gonna be going out there, she's gonna be landing these straight, very fast punches, and this is gonna be a humongous disadvantage for Katherine Paprocki in the fight. And I think in the striking game, Gina Goodin will have the advantage as well. Katherine Paprocki doesn't even have the best wrestling or grappling skills as well, but she does have very good power to hands and in her kicks as well with a really good kickboxing. But Gina Goodin, in my opinion, will have the striking advantage, and will have the strength advantage in the clinch, and honestly, will have the submission and jiu-jitsu advantage. So pretty much everywhere I look at the fight, I'm going to be going with Gina Goodin, even though the betting odds for the fight are really close. I still think that Gina Goodin is slightly better at pretty much every single facet of the game. So in the striking game, it's going to be very even, but I will give a slight edge to Gina Goodin. And in the grappling and wrestling game, I definitely have Gina Goodin having the advantage right there. So overall, I think this fight will go all the way, and one of these two girls will win the fight by 30-27 unanimous decision, and that girl, in my opinion, will be Gina Gutierrez. I mean, she's an absolute beast. Gina Goodin. I mean, she's an absolute beast. A really good striker. Very tall, very lengthy for the division in the women's strawweight division. So I'm definitely going with Gina Goodin to win the fight by 30-27 unanimous decision. After that, guys, we have a really good wrestler, and then another really good wrestler, Edwin Chavez, and then Shad and Aloha. This fight is a featherweight fight right here. Both fighters, I believe, are moving up for the bantamweight to the lightweight division. They both have very good striking, pretty decent striking, I would say, but Edwin Chavez and Shad and Aloha has very good wrestling and jiu-jitsu and guillotine chokes, and rear naked choke submissions and armbar submissions, everything like that in the grappling and wrestling game. Both fighters do really well in. Edwin Chavez is a little bit taller at 5'11" inches tall. I'm not really too sure what his reach is, but they're both pretty similar age. I believe I remember Edwin Chavez is 25 or 26 years old right now. But Shad and Aloha, the man's wrestling is very good. 7 wins and 2 losses, 4 submission wins, 1 knockout win, and 2 decision wins. His only losses to Javion Stoss, the top 10, I believe, lightweight or featherweight fighter inside of Bellator, and then John Castaneda, the top 15 bantamweight fighter inside of the UFC. Those are his only 2 losses. A really good wrestling from Shad and Aloha as well. Edwin Chavez, 4 wins and 0 losses. As an amateur, also went undefeated with 6 wins in a row, 4 decision wins, a 3rd round knockout win, and a 2nd round submission, and then 2 finishes as a professional MMA fighter, and 2 decision wins. You go down here, Shad and Aloha, most of his wins are coming by rear naked choke submission. You look on his record so far, they're all pretty much by rear naked choke submission. Not really any arm bars, not really any guillotines, just he's trying to get your back, trying to get you down, and he's trying to sink in that rear naked choke submission. Both fighters have decent striking. I wouldn't really give that much of an edge to either fighter in the striking department. I think this fight is really going to depend on who has the better wrestling and who has the better grappling, and who is honestly going to be the stronger fighter in the clinch. That is the main way I see see one of these two guys to actually winning the fight. But they both have really good trip takedowns, or really good double leg takedowns. They're really good clinch work as well. I give the clinch advantage probably to Shad and Aloha. He's a little bit stronger than Edwin Chavez is. But in the grappling game, it is so even, man. I mean, the betting odds for the fight, I believe, are like 50-50 for sure. Let's see if I can find it. Minus 115 and then minus 112. I mean, this is a super close fight on the betting odds right there. I think it could honestly go either way. It's just who's going to have the better grappling and who's going to have the better wrestling. I don't know, man. I've watched a lot of film on Shad and Aloha. I watched both of his fights inside of Bellator and on Dana White's Nintendo series, and he showed, even against a guy like John Castaneda, who has really good takedown defense, he still went out there and landed 2 or 3 takedowns on him. He controlled the fight on the ground. Edwin Chavez has just not really fought the best competition in his career so far, whereas Shad and Aloha has done really good in the wrestling and grappling game against guys like Javier Sauce and John Castaneda. So I just think he's fought in the better competition. Edwin Chavez has not really been tested against any of his opponents. I mean, you look right here, 6-6, 0-1, 2-3, and 0-2. He hasn't really fought the best competition, and the grappling is so even, man. I've been thinking about this fight for so long. I don't really know who has the better grappling. It's gonna be so even, probably a 50-50 fight, but I'll give the slightest edge to Shad and Aloha just because of the strength advantage. I think he's gonna be a little bit stronger than Edwin Chavez. Other than that, their submission game is very even. The only reason I'm going Shad and Aloha is because he's just a little bit stronger than Edwin Chavez. So I think this fight will go all the way, or Shad and Aloha will get another rare naked choice submission win. So either way, I think the fight will be a rare naked choice submission win for Shad and Aloha in the first or second round, or he'll go out there and win the fight in a really close fight by 29-28 unanimous decision. Again, that fight's gonna be a really close one, but I'm definitely going with Aloha to win the fight by unanimous decision. After that, guys, we have Kyle Estrada and Tyler Wilson. This fight is a bantamweight fight. I'm going to say it right now. I have Kyle Estrada winning the fight. I mean, he has 3 knockout wins, with the rest of his wins coming by decision. His only 2 losses recently to Adrian Mini Masvidal Yanez and Kevin and the TV Dodd, 2 really good strikers. I mean, against Adrian Yanez, who's inside of the UFC right now, so far 2-0. I mean, he did really good and got a split decision loss with Adrian Yanez. He has a really good takedown defense. Really powerful straight right hand. His right hooks are super good at the kidney. He goes like this and just goes right there, and those shots at the kidney are devastating in his fights. He usually likes to utilize his calf kicks in the early rounds, not necessarily in the second and third round, just in the first round, to kind of diminish the movement of his opponent. Tyler Wilson is mainly going to be a wrestler here. He's going to have the reach advantage. He's going to have the height advantage, both by 2 inches. Very good clinch work and has some pretty good knees to the body, but I don't think his striking is nearly as good as Kyle Estrada, so I 100% think that this fight is a striker and a wrestler type of fight. It's just who's going to keep the fight where they want to keep the fight. That's the game, man. If Tyler Wilson can get a takedown in the first round, I still think that Kyle Shad is good enough to scramble back up on the feet. He has a really good scrambling ability. So even if he does get taken down, he can get right back up on the feet and make it a kickboxing type of fight in the fight. So I think overall he will defend most of the takedowns. If he does get taken down, I will get right back up on the feet and will have the striking and kickboxing and boxing advantage, everything like that. We'll have the clinch advantage as well. So overall, I think in the striking game, Kyle Estrada will have the advantage, will defend the takedowns in the wrestling and grappling game from Tyler Wilson, and overall, I have Kyle Estrada winning the fight by 29-28 unanimous decision. After that, guys, we have a striker and a grappler right here. Nino Gavino. The man's got power. That's all you really need to know about this man. 10 wins and 4 losses. A lot of people on these tabloid predictions are saying he's gonna win the fight by knockout. I mean, 73% going Gavino by KO or TKO, and then 27% going Mckinney to win the fight. Both fighters have most of their wins coming by finish. 10 wins and 4 losses. 8 knockout wins, a 1 submission win, and 1 fight going all the way. Out of his losses, 3 knockout losses and 1 submission loss. Absolutely insane. Terence Mckinney, his only losses coming to Derek Minner and Sean Woodson. His other loss by a leg injury in the first round. So his only 2 losses are to real UFC caliber competition. He's really good at wrestling, really good grappling, really good clinch work as well. He's very good at tripping you near the cage. And in the middle of the cage, has a really good double leg takedown. I think this fight is either going to be he's going to dominate the fight on the ground, go for a takedown after takedown after takedown, and just dominate the fight in the grappling and wrestling game, and get a lot of ground and pound, and go for submission after submission after submission, and get a decision or submission win. Or Tonino Gavino is going out there and he's going to get the knockout in the first or second round. I think both fighters have very, very good striking. With the striking advantage, obviously, is going to be going to Tonino Gavino. I nicknamed him the KO machine, because every single time he goes out there, he gets an elbow knockout, a flying knee knockout, a head kick knockout, whatever the case may be. He's always trying to get the knockout, but we haven't really seen too much of his wrestling and grappling game, kind of because he's going out there and just knocking his opponent out before they can even wrestle with him. So if Terence McKinley can get past the onslaught of powerful punches from Tonino Gavino, I think he will eventually get the fight to the ground with his wrestling, with his grappling, and dominate the fight in the grappling and wrestling game. But who knows? Tonino Gavino, never count this man out, with an amazing right hand and really good flying knees. I mean, the man's an absolute beast, but I will be going with Terence McKinney to win the fight by 30-27 unanimous decision, or by submission in the very first round. I still think it's very likely Tonino Gavino goes out there and gets a knockout win in the first or second round, but Terence McKinley has shown me a lot of really good wrestling, really good grappling, and shown to keep the fight very even in the striking game when he doesn't really have that striking advantage in most of his fights. So I think this fight will be spent in the clinch on the ground, with Terence McKinley dominating the fight on top of Tonino Gavino and getting a 30-27 unanimous decision. But who knows, man? Tonino Gavino is so powerful. He can definitely go out there and get a knockout, but I will be going Terence McKinley 100%. And guys, we have finally made it to the main event of LFA 106. We got a really good fight right here. Guess what, guys? We got Joshua da Silveira and Rafael Viana. And this fight is a light heavyweight fight. Joshua Silveira, amazing grappler, 4 wins and 0 losses, a little bit taller than Rafael Viana in the light heavyweight division, undefeated fighter as an amateur and as a pro. If you look at how he wins his fights, 3 submission wins and 1 knockout win. Out of his amateur wins, 2 submission wins and 1 knockout win. Very powerful and really good submission skills. If you look at how he's winning his fights by submission, mainly by rear naked choke submission or by arm triangle choke submission. He's trying to get you down, trying to get half guard, trying to get you to give your back up and get the rear naked, or just get that rear, or get the arm triangle choke submission. That is the main way that Joshua Silveira wins his fights. Rafael Viana, 6 wins and 1 loss. He is 36 years old at the time of this recording right now. And is not fought literally 5 years ago. It was his last ever professional MMA fight against Devin Clark. He did get injured in the fight. Not really too sure what he's been doing since then. I really don't know. His striking could look way better than it did 5 years ago. His grappling could look way better than it did 5 years ago. We have no way of knowing that. But he's usually, in the fights that were 5-6 years ago, he was mainly a grappler, trying to get you down, TKO you, or submit you in the first or second round. 3 submission wins and 2 knockout wins. So I'm not really sure what he's been doing in the last couple of years, but I do know that in the last couple of years, Joshua Silveira has looked amazing. I mean, his grappling, his striking, everything about this man just kind of screamed Dana White's Contender Series. I do think that this man will go on a Dana White's Contender Series in the next couple of years, 100%, and get inside of the UFC. The man has really good grappling, and if he just kind of tunes up his striking and his kickboxing skills, I 100% I see him as a UFC fighter in the next couple of years. But I will be going with Joshua Silveira to go out there, get a takedown in the first round, get him down, and ground him on a couple of times. Have Viana give his back up and get the rear naked choke submission in the first or second round. So in the main event right here for LFA 106, I have Joshua Silveira winning the fight by submission, by rear naked choke submission in the first or second round. Again, if you guys missed my full card prediction right here, I have Joshua Silveira winning his fight. I have Terence McKinney winning his fight. Kyle Estrada winning his fight. Shad and Aloha winning his fight. Gina Goodin winning his fight. Trevor Wallace winning his fight. And then Mando Gutierrez winning his fight. A lot of really good fights on the fight card so far.